I already showed you guys I can actually do it before and after.
Yeah, I thought you can stand every day, right? Yeah.
But I just never heard of this one. I don't know what's the festival or what's the big deal out of it. It's just an egg. Get something that's get started, or else we will get started. Share the link. Share the link so
private party today, not me.
wow.
Okay, how about I continue one? So this is a very quick overview discussion on learning Rust for more than 2 months. So the reason why I emphasize more than 2 months is because we try to think about Rust, learn a language that I have used in the real world. But unfortunately, it's not really the case. So just a quick introduction. I'm Xiang. I both introduce you started learning Rust 4 months ago. So I'm still on and off doing some learning on X0. That's my GitHub and Twitter account. This presentation is also posted on my blog here. So most of what I'm about to share today is about core accessible Rust track exercises. And since this is about learning, so expect a lot of horrible code because I'm still very new to the language. So let's get started. This is one of the earliest puzzle in the system. So what is expected is the numbers here. So the condition of the numbers are given as follows. So it needs to be, the sum needs to be 1,000, and it needs to be recurrent here. So being new language is one something. It is really badly written. So I don't really know what I was thinking back then. So I don't think this.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be a close range instead of a range so I got all the if statements here. And also the last loop is not included as pointed by platforms. So this is how the whole discussion looks like most of the time. So this is a very easy, fairly easy exercise. There's nothing much to talk about. So we jump straight into the solution. So this is what I ended up with something which is not good enough, but it passes all the tests, and then yeah, it's just good enough to move on.
What is the 1,000%? 1,000. What was the? I wasn't sure about the original.
Okay, so conditions that need to be fulfilled. So the first one is
okay.
A plus B plus C is one column. So in a way, I don't have to look for C. Yeah. So this is the second condition. If it fulfills both these conditions, then I have the product. So start with that.
Then later on, I did a very quick revision to it. So this is how it looks like right now. I still don't really think it is easier to interpret, but it's just another way to write this a solution for this puzzle. Sorry? Yes, it really depends on what kind of programming paradigm that you are into. So as long as it works, it really doesn't really matter. So the next one is saddle point. Saddle point is finding a point in the matrix where all the entry itself is the greatest between all the elements in the rows, but it is the smallest within the cell, the columns. So it's not really mathematics here. So in this case, we are looking for something like this. Sorry, 1, 0. Yep. Biggest than all the entries in the row, and then smallest within the column. So this is what I submitted in the beginning. It's very, very elaborated, and a lot of this can be done like with a single core instead of doing manual coding. So this is what happens when you submit a very bad code, then you get nagged a lot. It's very much like real life at work. So there's a lot of discussions going on. So I was told about, for instance, how flat map can be used to simplify some of my code. For example, here, a filter called after map, which is usually can be simplified with a flat map. So in the end, in short, in the end, the whole thing looks like this. It's a lot shorter. This is vector. Yep, heap allocated. So if vector of vectors. Because if the only way you can manipulate a list of things, we don't say it as an array or whatever. But if you have a list of things that you want to manipulate, you want to add in entries to the list, the best way to do it is by vector, because array is immutable by default. So it's stack-ish. It's in a stack. So I don't see anything. I don't see anything equivalent for now, but I have not been actively looking for it. I'm not too sure whether they have a NumPy equivalent there. But even if they have it there, I suppose it's another learning curve to like climb up because everything is immutable by default, and then changing stuff requires a lot of reference. Yeah. Yeah. Not too sure, but what I know is it's lazy. So if you really want the result, you have to go call collect. Otherwise, you won't get the result. And then if you don't collect your result, you will have lifetime problem when it comes to when you need to use it later. Because if you don't collect it, it will be dropped. Then when you want to use it, then it's not there anymore. Not really. Collect is more like compute. You need to compute the result to evaluate the lazy statement. So the next one is this. I don't know how to read this. Luhn. Luhn is so it's a number validation thing. So given a list of digits, so you start from the last digit, then you double every odd index digit from counting from the back. Then sum up the resulting list of digits, and as well as the rest of the even index digits. So number obtained needs to be divisible by 10. So usually this kind of validation is done to credit card numbers. So that's why the GIF there. So there's nothing really much to talk about here. Just a very split into an array of digits, one digit. Yeah, it's given in string, so you need to convert into digits. You need to break it up into individual digits. This is why this is actually what happens in the that's that's the problem that I was facing. So there was a extensive discussion on how to do this without cloning. Iterating has a problem where sometimes you attempt to move the value away. So if you happen to move the value away, then you are modifying the original array. Then this is not permitted. Then you get errors. Sometimes it's not that easy. Which is why I settled with a clone back then. So this is what you need to write if you don't want to clone it. Yeah, whenever you do let's say an assignment, assign the value to something else, then it will be moved. In any one time, a value can be only owned by one person. The scalars are usually copyable. You can copy the scalars, but not things like a vector. Anything that is stored on the heap is not copyable. You need to explicitly clone it. So a lot of times in the beginning.
It's like a very roundabout way.
No, so in the beginning, because you get really frustrated like dealing with all the copy and the clone thing. So in the beginning, usually, if you want to avoid all the compiler errors, you clone everything, as shown here. But sooner or later, as time goes on, then whenever the compiler throws you a problem on borrow, ownership, things like that, you kind of feel some kind of intuition on how to really solve it. I can't really tell you and every time like why it happens, but at least like at the current stage, I can like, oh, I know this may be a ownership problem, uh, like lengthening the time it leaves, it probably solves the problem. But I cannot really because
You don't need to. Just simply calculate this one. So that means that you calculate basically every odd and even because then you figure out whether it's an odd and even length of the thing. Then you double the one.
oh, because I did this according to the original instruction. Yeah. Every second digit, you reverse the string, then you do all the you do the operation to the all the odd index digit. Yeah, but in the end you need to sum everything together. So you only do the double, you need only double the numbers. Yes, but in the end you need to sum everything together. Yes, I know that. I know that. But then you need to apply the double operation on the every second character, and then in the end you need to add all the double numbers and then the non-double numbers together. Yeah, if you want to do it in one go, this is what you do. So you enumerate, then you only double the special ones. Then in the end, you sum up everything together. It's an easy problem. Let's not spend too much time on it. So the next is at batch cipher. So it's a very boring cipher, which practically you turn the first letter into the last letter A to Z, then B to Y, C to X, etc. So on, so on. Sorry? I don't remember much about C anyway. So, so if you think again, then ciphering and deciphering is practically the same process, just that the only additional requirement is that you break the ciphertext in, so you add a space after every fifth character, I think. Yeah, that's what is required in the unit test. So speaking of unit tests, they actually have a very extensive unit test for all the cases. So in this case, you have a clear text, then your ciphertext needs to have a space for every 5 characters. So being someone who abuse a language a lot, so this is my attempt to break. Yeah. So I was trying to throw in a closure or anonymous function so that I see whether it can be done. Actually, it's a proof of concept. So it's practically the same thing. Like this is a function to add a space for every fifth character, and then when sorry, oh this one 219 is a number, U8 is the data type. So I want this 219 in unsigned 8-bit integer. Uh, 21 it's a character. It yeah, I need to check XKey table. I don't remember why. What is this for? Space? What was this for already? I don't quite remember. I only remember 65 is 8, that's all. Calculator. I don't remember. Transform in X is I don't remember. It's one of the characters. Oh,
You didn't read the book, sir. Terrible lah. Okay, you just quote answers without reading the book. Go back, and read the book. Two choices. No, the restaurant at the end of the universe.
so this is what happens when you have a very extensive, very helpful mentor who tells you a lot of things when you break things. Because I was new. This is what learning is. Because I was experimenting with how to break the language. So this is practically how I learn. So I break things and I figure out how to fix it. This is one of the problems that I spend a lot of time fixing my own problems. Okay. Sorry? Concat? Yeah, just two different methods of doing the same thing. No, I'm not too interested in the performance talk. I don't know. It passes the unit test. That's what it matters. I don't care. As long as it passes the unit test, I'm happy enough. This is. If on the concat thing, if you really want an answer about concat thing, why I use concat, it is because in Rust everything, a lot of the mutation happens in place. So, but I wanted to emulate behavior of other languages like Lisp, where they return a new thing when you mutate them. Yeah. So that was why I use a lot of concat in my earlier code. But then dealing with mutation is something that you have to get used to in Rust, because otherwise you will write a very horrible code. So the reason why I talk about concat just now, so because concat is practically I don't want side effects to happen. So I want a new copy of things when mutation happens. So if I really want that to happen in Rust, then I need to write a lot of code to do that. A lot of concats, a lot of cloning, a lot of this and that. So in this one, it's practically a parenthesis matching exercise. Just matching whether the given string has matching parenthesis, matching bracket. No, you need, it has to be in order also. It has to be in order. It's very thorough. There's actually no way for you to cheat. Yeah. Yep. There are different packets, different order, whether they are balanced, whether they are not balanced. Yep, stack manipulation. So in this one, as usual, I do a lot of concat. I do a lot of concats in the beginning until my mentor told me about a library called RPDS, which basically emulates what Lisp does. Sorry? Yeah, this is what I submitted at the end. That's not really nicely written. If I write it today, it may look different, but it gets the work done. It gets all the unit test passes. I'm not too picky about the code quality now. So it's just attempt to match all the matching conditions. So this is a library I was told about. So string is mutable. String is mutable, but yeah, it's not a string. It's a reference to a string. It's very much like slice and array in Rust. Not much to talk about. So it's just that strip all the alphabets away. Then when you only deal with the brackets, then it will be a lot easier to do your work. So this is what I was told. So all the mutation results in a new thing. That's what happens in other languages. For instance, in Python, new instance for every mutation. But it has a little bit of performance hit if you really use it. So in the end, the moral of the story is get used to how Rust mutates things. They don't, in this library, from what I see, is they don't clone everything. they build a tree instead of cloning everything. So if you have like a list of things, then you add one to the thing, then they build a new tree, new tree branch for only the new things. Yeah, you don't have to. Yep. So you are building a tree lah. So whatever that you want from a tree is by tracing from the branch by the leaf, then they rebuild the whole thing for you. It's not really. It's not about balancing. It's just tree. So sublist is an um, it's a case where I discover a lot of new functions that are very much an improvement to the quality of life. So in short description, it's sublist is by comparing two words, a long one and a short one, then you see whether one is a sublist of another. Not really. It's more like you a string. It can be equal, it can be not equal, a sublist or a superlist to each other. So usually what people do is you don't build a tree. You do a lot of the index manipulation. So your subset of this, like you shift the index around to find whether you see whether there's a match. The small, yeah, yeah. Then
Definitely the issue is that whenever we deal with string is that if the string contains stupid Unicode characters, that's when
Unicode character will be discussed later. It's a pain to deal with in Rust. Yeah, I was told about the Windows method. So practically that means I don't need to do all the index manipulation, no need to do calculation, where it starts, where it ends, things like that. You just need a call, Windows. No, not really. You only want to read a subset of a string. So this long piece of code becomes something this short because I don't need to do much code to do the index manipulation.
So wait, Windows is actually what Rust?
It's a method in Rust for strings, standard library. It's just save you from doing all the index manipulation. So for instance, if you want to look for a subset of a string like the first
Can we see the entire thing
without scrolling.
only copy the below the
Okay, wait.
I think there's an iterator that
No, I'm not doing iterator here. I don't need an iterator here. Because I only want to read. Okay, let me open up the code. Enlarge. Yeah, because what I needed is only somehow break the string into a list of things that is this long, this at this length. So it gives you an iterator. I don't really care about what it contains, but I only want to know any of them is. Oops. Here. Yeah, sliding window. It's a sliding window. It's a sliding window, which is why I use this. Yes. It's a nice quality of life thing, but there's a lot of this kind of function inside the standard library. Sorry? Oh, that's the anonymous function. It's very much like arrow function in JavaScript, just different syntax. Yeah, this is the parameter. This is the expression. Yeah, it's very, very nice. There are a lot of quality of life kind of method in the standard library. The only problem is that you don't actually expect this kind of things, so you don't actively look for them unless you read the whole thing whenever you like do your work. There's a lot of quality of life thing in the standard library. That's what I can tell. So the next one is a lot more complicated. It's not hard, it's just a lot of work because you need to score poker hand, and then you need to be able to score it, and then you need to be able to compare. So this one, I'm not sure. Okay. There's a lot of way to deal with it, but yeah, this kind of quality of life thing that is something that you don't really expect from a lot of languages. So the problem with that is you don't really actively look for them in the documentation. Yeah, so unless you, that will be useful. So next is poker. Poker is about scoring a hand. Yeah, yeah, because a game happens to share the name. So but usually all the documents are all centralized in one place, so it shouldn't be a problem. Poker in a way is, it's not hard, it's just a lot of work. Because you need to score, you need to compare, then you need to model. So a lot of code is spent on modeling, and then a lot of code is spent on like scoring, calculating things like that. It's not complicated, it's just a lot of work. So my mentor don't really is not really interested in the problem actually. So as long as it passes, everyone is happy. So this is the model that I adopt lah. I'm not sure how other people does it. So it's practically just type of hand and whether it is a 3 or 4 of kind, what's the value, what's the supplementary. It's a list, it's a vector. Because I couldn't make this into a number, it's just too large. It's a 17 dimension array. So if I am to turn this into number, I don't have the number is too big to be modeled. So it can be compared. It can compare. So this is how you, depending on how you model them. So the type of hand is usually is good enough to determine in a lot of cases. Yep. Loyal flush, then you get a higher number here, then maybe a straight gets lower number. So if these two is compared together, the royal flush will win. Yeah, it's just a very troublesome problem. It's not actually fun. It is a very troublesome problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's not actually fun. It's just troublesome. Suit is not a determining factor here, so we just need to focus on the values. Yeah. No, we don't. At least in the exercise, suit is not a considering factor, but it's already very like overwhelming enough because there's a lot of work that has to be put into it.
You want to do Chinese New Year, you might as well bloody do the
Anagram, so I do a lot of search at work. So anagram to me is just like an indexing document problem. So where it assumes a bag of words model. So what it means is that two documents with the same word in different order, it has the same resulting vector. So anagram is also the same thing to me. So two words, as long as it has the same set of alphabets in different order, then it is anagram. So these two problems are similar to me. That's also how I attempt the problem. It's not the best solution, but the solution is what is. No, it's not. This is when Unicode comes to bite because they put in a lot of Unicode in the unit test. And then if you attempt to break the string into
yeah, but you can actually break it into Unicode Unicode character is called what is the equivalent?
well, it just breaks it into a character.
So you break the character.
If you want something like Luhn, then you have to do it yourself. You need to do the assembly yourself.
There's no break.
It's one character. So Unicode, in some cases, is a combination of a couple of characters together, right? You get rubbish. I think I can print it out for you. It's very raw. So in most cases, you are advised to use some library to deal with it. instead. Is this enough? Yeah, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters.
There's no rather than chars or
No,
Python, you have a really cool thing like this. I don't know how
it will break into. They will attempt to break into characters. But in Rust, it's a bit more raw. You have to do the assembly yourself.
So how do you determine the character set? If it's actually more than 128, the next character.
There's a way to do it. I don't remember how I did it. It's explained in documentation, so I did what the documentation says. If you want me to explain what the code does, I probably don't remember. It's just you need to reassemble everything together. So instead of building a vector of characters, I built a vector of string where the string is actually one complete Unicode character. You get a very raw character here. You need to figure out how to assemble it back into tree. No. Also, it splits it into actual byte. That's why you get so many of this. Yeah. There's a lot of dealing with that. Mainly the main important part is this function. Yeah, in short, use a library, but yeah, I just wanted to see how. Otherwise, it's not that difficult. Yeah, you need to do some work in order to fix it. It's not the most efficient, most obvious solution, but yeah, I was trying to learn how to deal with strings. Sorry? Yeah, use a library. Even in the documentation itself, it tells you to use a library. You have to find all. You need to find all. I'm sure there's a library that does this, but I've not find anything. Yes, but breaking it is a problem itself. I think that the core developers does not really want to. It's just number anyway. It's the same. It's just different representation. You can cast a U8 into a character. In short, use a library. End of story. Yeah, it's not built in. You need to find a crate to do it. I think they want to keep the core small so that it is easier to manage. It's actually explained in the documentation. Explain the documentation and explain in the tutorial book also. So So Minesweeper is also another problem. It can be fun in the beginning when you want to try it, but this is a story where I abuse option for no good reason. Put in the numbers. You are given a grid of bombs, then you populate the numbers to the field. No, you just need to put in the numbers. You're given a grid like this, then you fill in the numbers. Count how many bombs in your neighborhood. In short, a very anti-game of life thing. Yeah, you can write a very short line in Python. O1? Wow. Okay. The line 12. Yeah. You should not use option for things that is not an optional value. So where a value is does not exist, or depending on, I mean, because you don't only calculate the numbers, because do a lot of other things before calculating. So yeah. Yeah, but I need to calculate other stuff. So this is how I abuse it, because I wanted to use something like filter and map. So this is not something that not really. That's my preferred way of doing things. Yeah. Yeah, which is why I get nagged on. Yeah, you should not be abusing that. Please don't do that. Yeah, so instead of that, you should do proper loop and proper whatever that gets the job done. Don't do stupid things. I don't know. I don't remember. Practically what I did was I looped through all the grid and then I calculate the neighborhood, whether there's a bomb or not, that's all. So filtering was originally there because I didn't know there's this saturating sub. When you have unsigned integer, if you don't want to accidentally make it into a negative number, you use this. Yeah, it's a bound check. So it will return a result. Whether it is, if it's not a number, then it will not proceed. If it's a number, then you proceed with flat map, filter, things like that. It's also another quality of life thing. So it stops you from doing stupid things with unsigned integers. So this is the first concurrency problem. Not sure why I never get this to work properly on my computer. Probably because I have a lot of Slack and then Docker running all the time. So I don't know. Everything looks the same to me. Right? They run at the same speed to me. Parallel and sequential, they run roughly the same to me. It's not big, but then however I was told it's a lot faster in parallel my code in other computer. Sorry? Yeah, you can. You just need to submit your cargo toml together with your code. No, I want to try to avoid using library to when I learn things. It's very much like Go channel, isn't it? Yes. Sorry? Yes, it is, but this is an exercise to teach you how to do concurrency. Yeah. It's an exercise. The only character frequency, letter frequency. Letter. This time you don't need to deal with the Unicode as much. You can just assume everything is ASCII. Sorry? Because parallel small TX close. This is a preferred way according to the documentation. Oh. At the end, no? Yep. Yep. One. Yeah. But then not sure what happens, but it runs normally in other computers. It's a lot faster in other computers, not my computer. Yep. 1.3 seconds of whatever you cut it is actually considered damn slow. I don't know. I think they multiplied it a lot. But when you have the bottleneck is definitely the final. Oh, the sequential thread is not done by me. And there's implementation done in the unit test itself. So I only benchmark against my implementation here. The normal one should be. I don't know. It's the same code, just a different computer. No, I don't define the thread. It's like in Go. It's very much like what Go does. Yes. I don't know, and I don't care.
Understand now. The producer is actually the processor, but in Go normally when we write is the consumer is the processor.
I'm very confused now.
Now I understand that. Then it's not the bottleneck.
One thread for each chunk.
Same code means that, you know what it means, right? Because it's the same code, regardless of whatever that the dude must have done something externally, not internally, not in the code.
Whatever that is faster in his machine, I don't know how he configures his machine. So different architecture, different machine, whatever, different environment. So not something that I care a lot as long as it works.
You suck, man. You need to know, man.
Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm. Yeah, so this is how a thread is spawned.
We have 24 cores. In theory, it should be 24 the thing about it is, it's actually the processor is here. That's why I so basically is that there's one thread per chunk.
This is calculating. This is summing the result.
This is actually
Summing.
putting everything together, right? Why not spawn the worker thread? Like let's say you spawn 4 threads and then send the worker to the working.
It's already spawning one thread for each chunk. It's a for each.
But I mean like but too much threads then
But then why do you want to put in so much time in solving a problem? No. Why is it a bottleneck? It's not a problem. Yeah, the OS will handle it for you. So yeah, it's not a problem for you to over architect the thing. Right side spawn. It's the reduced part. It's one thread, the main thread. Then you sum everything up together in here, 34 to 41. Yeah, it should be faster. It's just not fast on my machine. That's all. Yeah, it should be faster. So the last one is an interpreter for this mini language 4. So yeah, I rewrote a couple of times because yeah, it's a lot of references, a lot of mutation. It gets very hairy when you have a lot of this. So it's not really fun to read. So practically what it does is you tokenize the thing into Rust objects, then you evaluate from the left to right. That's all. Nothing too fancy is happening here. So this is the latest revision. This is 12th revision. I think this is the most I've done for any of the exercise so far. So sorry, I see where I see. Our reference counting. Reference counter. So in some cases where there are certain things that you cannot clone, then if you really want it to be cloned, then you can use RC. Pointer. Share is a sharing of the pointer. It just clones the pointer instead of the thing itself. Really? Fun is a very simple language from what I can tell, but it's a very it's a reverse what do you call it? RPN? Reverse polish notation? Yep. So this is what happens. Oh yeah. So this is what happens if you want to submit a different crate into the solution. So in this case, I don't use an extra crate, but I use a newer edition of Rust. So I need to submit the on beta now. So I need to submit the configuration up so that the mentor can have the same configuration as I have to run the code. I don't know, I think it just makes life easier when you have things like impl keyword, I think. And then also the lifetime is there's slight revision to the lifetime also. So that's why my mentor was having problem if he compiles the code in the earlier edition. He NL is new in 2018. I'm not sure whether I use that. Just that it doesn't compile in the earlier edition. So there's nothing much to talk about. Yeah, this is where all the meanings are given to the operators. So practically new anonymous function is assigned to the operators, to the word. They call function as word. So they have different behaviors. Then you can also create your own word. That's also what is covered in the unit test. Then when you tokenize, you give them meaning. Some of them is anonymous function. Some of them are numbers. Which one? This is a hash table. I use a hash table to practically that's all that I really want to talk about lah. Any well, it's a system level language, so I expect it to be fast. Just like how I expect Golang to be fast. Yeah.
The key is in compiling fast. Don't have to have a lot of operation for it. So normally in general, there's classified got less all the type. Translated everything.
Yep. So that's all I want to talk about in the Rust core track. Any question? Nope. But I'm just wondering to want to put here is we scratch that you can get about what time. Yep. Yeah, you need to fight with the borrow checker a lot. Then you somehow you build a what do you call that, a reflex action or whatever. So you kind of know how to fix a problem, but you cannot really explain why. It's like you build some kind of intuition to the problem, like it's not really pleasure, it's just that you yeah, you somehow find a way to like I don't know why people actually pick the hot that's all for me lah. You really want to do 99 bottles? Yeah, cast. Yeah, if you really want to try writing code for Rust without installing anything, REPL has a version for Rust also. REPL has Rust. This is playground. Playground is not as fun. I find REPL more shiny.
Okay, how many laptops we need? I still don't get the why is Concurrency so. I look at what's branching? This is on our network. Yeah, I mean, on our network. Okay. Typing. What do you use Kuma? What do you use Kuma? What do you use it? Why? The cooking findings are only for LinkedIn. Not really, I mean for cooking. People Kuma makes more sense for programming. Yes, yeah. I'm asking partially questions because you know you cannot throw him, okay? You can never throw him ever. I can learn back. I can learn myself. Oh no way. You try to be clever, you kena. You can't see me. That's awesome. Or use that step in the now sit here. So that the microphone is. Okay, here is the 99 lyric. 99 bottles with lyric. Be good, awesome. I can write this in Bash in Is this like the Daisy song? Huh? Is like the Daisy music? I don't know how they sing, but it's 99 bottles of beer. They say 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottle of beer. Take one down and pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. Okay, so the question is very simple. Okay, how fast encoding is Rust versus how fast encoding? What language do you get that? Go. Okay, okay. I code now. I coded yesterday, I coded yesterday on this, If you want me to code now, it'll be. Wait. Everyone try. You all try. No. I'm done. Huh? I'm done. Wait. What? When? Dapat lah. What you're talking? Whatever crap. Apa tu? Where? Okay. Where? Okay. Rust. Okay. Here. Okay. See, 99 poll. Done. See?
Wait, I got answer. What? What? Okay, wait first. I also.
I can do it in all the languages.
I did it yesterday. I did it yesterday.
The complexity is very
Ta.
yeah.
I cannot cheat at this. Then I can also do it in like one. It's not about this. I can also do it like this.
Yep.
Then everyone can say that. Okay. See, done.
30 wins.
What? How you do? How you do? Do you? Huh? No, but I did. If you want to be fast, then just copy paste everything. Okay, this is the fastest way to do.
Oh, I'm faster than you.
No, because I'm talking.
No, it's because I don't have any other syntax. All I have to do is put the word string in front, counting.
Same.
Never mind.
It's the same.
Never mind.
Okay. This,
So, yeah.
what I did at the end is basically I also cheating. I used to loop unrolling. If you want to check the version I did,
Why would you need loop unrolling? That's actually what C++ does. Do it. When you compile, it gets the
okay, what I did at first. At first I just, you want me to type the code? I just, yeah, it's written in Rust. Can.
It's a cat written in Rust.
It's
combat.
Yeah, it's called bat. So basically what it does is this no, this one doesn't work. I know, but this one is the first thing that I write.
Yeah, but it doesn't pass the last line.
I know. This thing doesn't pass the test.
For the computer, yes. For the computer, if you fail the unit test, you fail.
I know this one doesn't. This one fails. Okay, I just show. I show the first fail version. Definitely. What is it called? They call it 失败是成功之母。失败乃是成功之母。Okay, that means failure is the mother of success. Milk? Yeah. Just I say already. I say. No, not milk. Not milk. Bike sharing. Okay, this one is the first thing that I write. I think in maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, it's actually
I'm very slow.
So,
How do you go to the next branch?
why don't you use the until?
Wait first. This one, for those that don't know Rust, ayo, not everyone know Rust.
Okay, that's actually finally.
This one is from simple to the end. How to check out the next Git version lah? Do you all know? Any shortcut? I don't want to check. Yeah, the next. I need to go back one by one. Okay, then after this, I make this. I remove this.
You committed a version just to remove the new line.
No, because this, you know why? Okay, I'll show. Why? Okay, when I do this. Okay, by the way, a tip. You know this one I'm running cargo nightly.
You need the nightly version to be able to run your version of.
No, I just showing. I'm just showing how I do like this is one tip that I found. You can just echo nightly to this file. Just a tip. No, there's multiple ways to override nightly for a compiler. This is one of the ways that I find useful. this is one of the ways. There's a lot of ways.
Okay, so you actually
One is environment variable. One is use cargo nightly run. This will run the nightly. Yeah, you need to type everything time. One is use the Rust, the environment variable, something. So this is a tip that I found online. Yeah. You know why how I find this thing? Okay. Because Clippy told me. Hey, but how come? Yeah. How come it doesn't work? Okay. So Clippy shows me replace it with print element. So this Clippy is something that like Rust, it uses, it checks your code and it lints for you. Not just basic linting, they also shows you performance issues or yeah. But no, they have a lot of recipe. They have a lot of recipe. But this one of them, I also didn't know this. And then I checked. Oh, finally, KP shows me something useful. But some languages. Huh? I think maybe they'll suggest you if you do print slash n. Huh?
So it means that the color depends on the warning, right? Okay. So yellow means
warning. Warning they'll pass. Where is error?
I'm just picking out the color code.
No, this color. Yeah, the blue thing is also very useful. This one. This one I don't know. Maybe. You see this? There's a no color option. You know, like Rust CLI, they write a lot. They call it no color. Some new variables they call no color. So people don't want color, they just enable the variable. But this is very useful because they'll show you which line, like line number 7. You can see. This arrow is very useful when sometimes you have lifetime issue. That you point out where is the lifetime issue. Where is the variable drop? No, it point out where it's not the variable. Sometimes the lifetime is immutable. So they will point out where the lifetime drop. VS Code? No, VS Code by default you need to. Yeah, there's a Rust language server. No, they have quite good support for VS Code. Not that good support for Vim. Not that, it's quite good lah, but then they don't have everything. Why do I need to use VS Code? Just Vim master race. What? But chat. Okay. It's done already. It's copy already. This is in a Git repo if you want. Okay. Huh? Because every version have some changes. Okay, so this because this fixed the test. this is correct. Okay, here I explain this. What I did new here is I match the thing and then I give the end bottle. So here I will just print the end bottle here. The print, this I just print end bottle. Actually, this can be simplified later. I'll show. So what you can do is, why do I need string here?
What if n is 100?
N is 100. The n is 100. Yeah, it's so. Why? No. you know why I need this? Because at first I just put this. I don't have string from, and then because it fails because this is string.
Why don't you use a static string? What does Creepy say is you remove string from?
Not just Creepy, Rust will fail. Because
why is Creepy or
this
Rust not telling you what is failing?
This.
Why is it telling you? Why is it
because of the format. Both is different format. Yeah, this one something I face, even though I know this already, but I still face this. You see, okay. Yeah, this is where you get expected stir found structuring. This is, yeah. So this is string. This is stir. This. Can, but you have error. Okay, I'll show you. I also did this actually. I think how come I lazy to write the string from, right? You know, last time I was lazy to write this. I do this, you know. I was so lazy and I do this. You know, it doesn't work. No, because of lifetime. No, I switched that to like this.
Oh, so static one is static during lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't remember seeing this in the lifetime for this.
Oh no, I do this as str, so I can make the string and I return it as the as stir. But then why it fail? Compiler tells you. Slightly compiler is slightly better, so I use slightly compiler here. So I mean the error message because the value to string. Huh? You mean this one? What do you mean?
So in your case, your first line number 12, right? Rather than string form, you can do the same as your line of string format. So you don't need to give a parameter, which would actually convert it to the same type of thing.
Huh?
How I know? Because I have my own.
Oh. No, you cannot. Because about zero. No, you need the no word here.
Yes, because we have second attribute. Instead of doing this multiple statement, you just do one statement. It's the same. So you need your line number 5 and line number 6. And line number 12 and line number 6. The difference is that you, rather than string from, you use string function line number 6 or line number 7. The idea is that when you use a match function, just make sure that everything is matched at the same form. Regardless of whether it's the same type or not, does not matter as much as in this case that if you need line number 7 to use the format, then you use the same macro in line 12 and the same this is
Yeah.
don't use three other form mark.
No, it's the same type.
I'm saying is that you can create a lot of characters as in terms of now
Or you mean format? Yeah, why? I prefer string from.
I am telling you from a debugging standpoint, if that someone else eyeball that means that you can guarantee that all three forms return the same type. So later on if the format is the type, you do not have to manually go to every state of this type.
So use format. What do you mean? You need format on the outside. The mat's inside the format. Ah, looks the same. Oh. But how come one is bottle? No, runtime. The format. I think the format is runtime. Some is compiler, some is runtime. You need to do a cargo expand to see. So yeah, so this is what macro does actually. Yeah. Cargo expand. Yeah, expand. Basically, why this fail? Because the STR fails because this string, the ownership ends here. So I cannot do like this. Get it? Yeah, last time. Basically, this thing lifetime ends here. But this end bottle needs to be used down there. So it's not valid. You can't change it like this. You can't change it like this. It's like magic. There's a rule. Like they use scope to define the ownership. So when this thing is born here, it needs to die inside the same scope. Huh? 9 or 14? No, because everything is using string. This is stir, this is not string. So stir is a reference. Yeah, this is a reference. But then reference die. I mean, reference. Yeah. This one of the pitfall people face usually. Huh? Yeah, that one is, the format is on the heap. This one will become a string. The format macro will become a string. But then this one will become this as SDR will become this. So this is the reference. Borrowing, we call it borrowing. That's why they call STR. Yeah, I can from Python. And then sometimes it can be like this. This static on the stack. Yeah, static. Okay, this one of pitfall I discussed. It's like this. So basically, what is the next version? I also fix stuff. I what? Okay, this is a bit different. I have two here now. This let I do expansion, match expansion. Rust, there's something called they call it, no, this what do they call this but you assigning tuple. No, they don't call it this way. Destructuring, is it? Yeah, I think something like this. Something like that. So the first one will be I think the first one will be this second one will be this But you need to make sure everything is the same. But sometimes I got some pitfall here when I'm using search, the library, serialization library, where this thing, right, is actually very confusing. Sometimes you get this, sometimes you get this, sometimes you get both. So yeah, the library that can be used as a hash map, sometimes can be used as a structure, a list, a list, a vector. No, just for search. But usually, if you do it this way, it will work. That's just a pitfall for search, the library. Serialization, deserialization library. Okay. So this fixed has just this has go to store to buy some more. The previous one doesn't have. But this one I put this end bottle and I merge it into this. So I use one match statement instead of two. Look at this. Yeah. Imagine, the string says 99. No? Because it has, yeah, yeah, because this no bottle. They say no bottle, so I need to give them no bottle, right? Okay. How is this different? Okay, this is where you say follow. Why you don't use follow? Okay, here I use follow. Okay, here is follow. Eh? Follow. But I don't know how to do 100 to 0. That's why I cannot get it working, so I need to do this. Yeah. But Python you can do a reverse, right? This also can set the set. Okay. Yeah. I just say that you can set a set. At first I you know what I did 100 to 0, but I didn't I expect it to work, but it didn't. So never mind, I do it. At least I know this, so I just type. Because this is a range. This is a range trait. I'm not sure how many range are there, but I know this is the range trait. Yeah, this is so iterator, you see. implement iterator. Yeah, this is iterator. Next time if you want to check, you can just check if whether it is a iterator, you implement iterator stuff. Yeah. Okay, so this one is I think this one is last one. Okay, this one is starting to get fitting. Here is loop unrolling for performance. Okay, see this one? Just I know, but then this one is loop unrolling. Why? Why? Actually, I benchmark it, but there's not much difference. No, but there is difference for loop unrolling. Compared to just now that one, there's difference. I did it hyperfine. But then I noticed some difference. benchmark. But actually it's wrong. Every time I get different. Every time I get different numbers. Okay, so this one, basically, what I saw is basically this one is faster than the previous version now. Because there's no match here. There's no branches. You mean check how many CPU instruction there? No, I didn't do that. But I know Rust benchmark they do that. Oh, but how do you do that? How you do? How you do that? How you do that? Is it like how you do that? I know I think you can compile it to assembly. You can show the assembly. Maybe Tiger. Wait, this one. Wait, later. I mean, so one more commit, one more. This and another one more commit. Okay, so this one what is difference is I use positional. I didn't know last time. I think yeah. No, but I didn't expect this in last. It doesn't have it. But this standard Rust library print LM macro. Okay, something interesting. Luhn. This is a localization project. Project Fluent. This Project Fluent. I actually try this and then it looks quite complicated. Actually, I feel like. So you can do one unread email, no unread email. So I did is basically I just do Project Fluent. Here I format because I don't want to write this too many times. So I got lazy and then I did write something. What? I just smoke. Okay, here basically I didn't know what is it at first and then later I saw, how come this looks similar to this? I remember seeing this somewhere. The documentation is not very clear for this project. So basically, I write this the special format that they have here, and then I insert. I have a n bottles value here. Okay, this one localization project special, something special. No, I didn't even do it in Mandarin. Never, I never tried transfer it left to right like this. No, right to left. Who do Mandarin right to left? Very, very rare. Somebody can do that. Mandarin, no, I mean Mandarin. No, I mean Mandarin, right to left. I know, but nobody do that. But sometimes it's fun to see right to left, right? Like the ancient characters on the stone at the wall. Yeah, right to left, yeah. I know right to left. Top to down, press. Top to down. Okay, never mind. Start. Okay, everyone go. Everyone code 2018 you want. Start error code. Last time I saw one error code like so hard. I think I did 17 himself. Oh no, I didn't do it. I did 16. Okay. No, this one I did. I think I did 17. But which one I do? I know, I think I did more, right? I can't so feel Never mind. Which one do you want to? 2018. 2017, the first one. 2018. No. Hmm? Do this No time? Why? What's this? Oh, okay. Just a 3 numbers multiplier. How long do you want me to be? Okay, maybe discuss this. This is interesting. This proof. It describes the ownership. Yeah. Yeah, just look at the video. You guys go at 2, at the speed of 2. Hmm. Yeah, this one, I mean, this post is very interesting, but it's not for my content. I didn't create this, but this is interesting. This ownership. No, this is interesting. How they make use of ownership. Yeah, this one is how they make use of the ownership. Something new. There's 3 problems here. You need to rate the first code and then you need to identify the problem. I only identified 1 problem on the main code. The talk about Rust is a fine type system. Okay, I'll just show you the code. This preventing you from, the first is reusing a resources. The second issue is overwriting, checking state. Need to make sure that the state is correct. The second one. But no, but this one is useful. Oh. You mean for newer one? It's suggested to look into the iterators, the functional part, so that the one can get productive pretty quick. Like the one. For a reason you can also do. I mean, yes, it must simple in Go, but Rust 1 is a bit type safety. Okay, it's much harder. It's like safety. Okay, the Rust one thing that's nice about Rust, the compiler teaches you stuff. But this one teach you to be a better programmer. No, but the compiler teaches you how to become learn some paradigms. Yeah. The Rust normally very complicated. If I thought it's not that hard. Yeah. They don't type. Yeah, I can show project. Read and write basically is just I open just read now. Like this now. I use this to read and then use this to write now. To writer. I need faster to write. Faster to write. Yes, faster to write. A lot easier to run. Right. Yeah, development is faster. I mean the derive like this code generation. This is very useful. Traits is one thing, but I rarely use them. Traits. I mean, I just import them. I don't need to write my own traits. You rarely have to write your own traits. Unless you're writing a library. Secret keys? Secret keys is here. Yeah, the secret keys there. Okay, never mind, but that's all. Okay. This is also interesting. The third library, the generation is so interesting. The serialization is fast.